Welcome everyone to another Judgment of the Light set overview video, and in this video we'll be talking about the Umbral Horror archetype.
The first of the Umbral Horror monsters is Umbral Horror Ghoul. It's a dark, fiend effect monster, level 4 with 1800 attack and 0 defense.
Its effect is, once per turn you can make this card's attack 0, and if you do, special summon one Umbral Horror monster with 0 attack from your hand.
Ghoul can be used to summon one of the other Umbral Horrors, as the other two both have 0 attack, allowing for an easy Xyz summon requiring 2 level 4 monsters, provided you have a level 4 Umbral Horror in the grave if you're using Will-O-the-Wisp. Or to summon Umbral Horror Unform and have it attack to get 2 more Umbral Horrors out for an Xyz summon requiring 3 level 4s, such as number 104 Masquerade.
Since each Ghoul can use their effect once per turn, you can use Unform's ability to special summon 2 of these from your deck. Then during your main phase 2, you will be able to get out an additional 2 Umbrals from your hand in order to make, as Brad said, a number 104, or 2 rank 4 Xyz that require 2 materials. One example being number 66, Master Key Beetle, which can be used in order to protect itself or another card you control.
And the second of the Umbral Horrors is Umbral Horror Unform. It's a dark fiend effect monster, level 4 with 0 attack and 0 defense.
Its effect is, when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard while attacking a monster, you can special summon 2 Umbral Horror monsters from your deck. You can only use the effect of Umbral Horror Unform once per turn.
This card works very well with Spirit Barrier, as you need to attack an opponent's monster, equating to basically letting them direct attack to activate its effect. The best option for this effect is likely Umbral Horror Ghoul, as then your 0 attack monster becomes 2 1800 attack monsters, both of which could possibly summon more monsters from your hand in the main phase 2.
Because this card has to be destroyed while attacking a monster itself, you will still be in the battle phase when you special summon your 2 Umbral Horror monsters. This gives you at least an opportunity to use those monsters to destroy your opponent's monster. More likely than not, you will just enter your main phase 2 and Xyz summon or use these 2 new Umbral Horror monsters' effects.
And the third Umbral Horror is Umbral Horror Will-O-the-Wisp. It's a dark fiend effect monster level 1 with 0 attack and 0 defense.
Its effect is, when this card is normal or special summoned, you can target one Umbral Horror monster you control or in your graveyard, except this card. This card's level becomes the current level of that monster. When this attack position card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, and was in face-up attack position at the start of the damage step, destroy the monster that destroyed this card.
This card is best used further on in the duel, as you need to have another Umbral Horror in the graveyard to make this card useful for Xyz summoning. If you have a Spirit Barrier up, as it works well with Unformed, as mentioned before, you can use this card to attack an opponent's problematic monster and destroy it after Will-O-the-Wisp gets destroyed.
However, if you do not have an Umbral Horror in the graveyard, you can summon an Umbral Horror Ghoul and use its effect to special summon Will-O-the-Wisp, and since you control an Umbral Horror, you can target your Ghoul and change its level to 4, allowing you to make an Xyz play early on.
Next we have number 104, Masquerade. It is a light spellcaster Xyz effect monster, rank 4 with 2700 attack and 1200 defense.
It requires 3 level 4 monsters to Xyz summon into, and its effect is, during either player's battle phase, when an opponent's monster's effect is activated, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, negate the activation, and if you do, inflict 800 damage to your opponent. Once per turn, you can send the top card of your opponent's deck to the graveyard.
This card is extremely useful as it has a rather high attack stat and can actually deal with a surprising amount of cards. This card can negate many effects that would end up protecting your opponent, as the negated effect does not need to be of a monster on the field. It can negate searchers like Mystic Tomato, flip effect monsters, Gores and Tragodia, Utopia, and many other annoying monsters.
Since it can negate monster effects from anywhere, if your deck can easily summon 3 level 4 monsters in the same turn, this card provides another option instead of running Skill Drain, Soul Drain, or Mind Drain. And instead of paying 1000 life points, you can negate 3 effects and deal 2400 points of damage to your opponent.
Next we have number C104, Umbral Horror Masquerade. It is a dark spellcaster Xyz effect monster, rank 5, with 3000 attack and 1500 defense.
It requires 4 level 5 monsters to Xyz summon into, and its effect is, when this card is special summoned, you can target 1 spell or trap card on the field, destroy that target. If this card has number 104, Masquerade, as an Xyz material, it gains this effect. Once per turn, during either player's turn, when a monster effect is activated on your opponent's side of the field, you can detach one Xyz material from this card, negate the activation. Then, you can send one random card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard, and if you do, have your opponent's life points.
This card is incredibly powerful, though difficult to summon with its ranked up effect, although its effect to destroy a spell or trap card and high attack make it a good candidate for a summon through rank up magic limited Barion's Force. It is unfortunate, though, that if you summon this card through Numeron's Force or Barion's Force, you will miss the timing on the destruction effect, provided your opponent has a valid target for Barion's Force. This is also the only Chaos number to have changed attributes from its previous form so far.
Since this card has a boosted effect from number 104, if possible, you will likely want to summon this Chaos Xyz as soon as possible in order to increase the damage dealt to your opponent by having their life points and potentially getting rid of some useful cards in their deck.
And finally, we have a normal trap card that's very closely related to the Umbral Horrors, Corrupted Keys.
Its effect is, target one face-up Xyz monster you control, special summon 3 Umbral Horror Mirage tokens, Fiend type, Dark, level 1, attack, defense 0. When summoned, each token's attack becomes equal to that Xyz monster's current attack. They cannot attack your opponent directly or be tributed except for a tribute summon. When that face-up Xyz monster leaves the field, destroy these tokens.
This card is very handy to use on even a moderately powered Xyz monster, as your Xyz monster essentially multiplies, allowing for very quick field advantage. They were very careful with this card to avoid allowing this card to be used for the viruses, but they can be used to summon any of the Egyptian gods or wicked gods, but unfortunately not Raviel, Lord of Phantasms, as his effect is a special summon, not a tribute summon.
The downside to this card being that if your Xyz monster is destroyed or removed from the field, with the likes of cards like Compulsory Evacuation Device or Dimensional Prison, then all the tokens are destroyed as well. Using this card in combination with the Xyz monsters that protect themselves from destruction, such as Maestroke the Symphony Djinn or number 66 Master Key Beetle, or using cards like Safe Zone to help prevent your Xyz monster's destruction, will allow you to keep these likely powerful tokens on the field longer. Welcome to the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to leave your comments below on any of your thoughts on these cards or anything on the video in particular, and we will see you for the next video.